वसल्ल अल्लाहु अला नबील करीम रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी वयस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़्दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। The theme for the present topic is man and paradise. God Almighty created the universe and also our planet Earth. And He created paradise, a place of happiness. Paradise is a place where all kind of happiness and pleasure is available for man. God settled man on this planet Earth as a test. Now we are living here for the test purpose. So this planet is a selective ground. Every time, every day and night, man is under active supervision of angels. Angels are recording every action, every speech, every movement of men and women. Then on the day of judgment, according to this record, on the day of judgment, this angelic record will be produced before God. And God, according to this record, will select those people who are liable to be blessed paradise. So they will be given entry into paradise. So this planet Earth is as a selective ground. Here angels are watching and making record of all men and women to know who is a deserving candidate for paradise. There is a very relevant hadith. This hadith tells us in a very beautiful manner. This hadith is based on an analogy. According to this hadith, paradise is a highly fertile land. Highly fertile land. And this world, the planet Earth, is like a nursery. So all men and women are planted here in this nursery. And then the healthy plant will be replant in paradise or transplant. Only healthy plants will be selected to transplant in the land of paradise. This analogy is very beautiful, and this tells us the actual position. So according to this analogy, present world is like a nursery we are here as a plant, and then according to our deed, according to our record, angel will transplant us in paradise according to the decision of God. This is the creation plan of God. Now, God sent His guidance through prophet. You know, Adam was the first man, also he was the first prophet. So God revealed His guidance through prophets in every time and every place. Now, Quran is a preserved form of that guidance, most authentic and preserved form of that divine guidance. So, if we want to know what is the creation plan of God and what is the purpose of life, what is death and what is after death, all these things we can know through Quran. When we read Quran, we find that God has provided two kinds of guidance. One, in the book form, there is a literal statement of divine guidance. Quran is a literal statement of divine guidance. Then the rest of the universe is also a guide, in this sense that this verse provides a model, a practical model. So the whole universe, every part of this universe is like a model for that divine character which is required from men and women. There is a verse in the Quran, يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرُ يُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ. This ayat tells us the same project or the same planning of God. That Quran is a book of statement, and the rest of the verses and rest of the universe is like a demonstration or model for human being. Now, there is a very relevant verse in the Quran. أَفَغَيْرَ دِينِ اللَّهِ يَبْغُونَ وَلَهُ أَسْلَمَ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ طَوْعًا وَكَرْهًا وَإِلَيْهِ يَرْجَعُونَ. Do they seek religion other than God's, whereas all the whole world, whereas the whole world is following the same religion, willingly or unwillingly. In this verse, we know that God's religion is only one, and the same religion is required by man as well as by the rest of the universe. Now, what is this religion? I will refer some verses from the Quran and Hadith that tell us the detail of this creation plan of God. There is a verse in the Quran, لَا الشَّمْسُ تَجْرِي لَهَا أَن تُدْرِكَ الْقَمَرَ وَلَا اللَّيْلُ سَابِقُ النَّهَارِ كُلٌّ فِي فَلَكٍ يَسْبَحُونَ. This means that in the vast universe there are numerous stars and planets, all are in motion. But every star and every planet revolves strictly following its own orbit. No star or planet deviates from its orbit, and also no stars or planet intervene in the other orbit. So this is the approved form of movement, approved form of life for man also. Man is free. God has given man freedom. So man is free for his movement, for his actions, for his activities. But according to this universal model, man must follow his own orbit. He must work in his own limit. No man or woman is allowed to interfere in the spheres of other people. We have to follow our own orbit strictly without interfering the other. The same is mentioned in the hadith in these words, Wallahi la yuminu, Wallahi la yuminu, Wallahi la yuminu, Allazi la yamanu jaruhu bawa'iqahu. It means that, no, he is not a true believer. According to this hadith, he is not a true believer who creates problem for his neighbors. This is the universal model. No heavenly body creates problem for other bodies. So is required by man. Man must follow his own path, his own sphere. Every man and woman are free, but no one is free to create problems for others. No one is free to intervene in the affairs of others. This is the first model. This model is already adopted by the rest of the universe. The same model is required by men and women also. This is one example. Then there are other verses and hadiths, and I want to mention some of those verses. For example, Quran says, referring the system of rain and rivers, Quran says, وَأَمَّا مَا يَنْفَعُ النَّاسَ فَيَمْكُثُ فِي الْأَرْضِ. It means that rain and rivers or water system, always water system is highly active system, but the water supply system in this earth is always active for on principle of on giving principle, not on taking principle. The rain system, river system, and water supply system is there, but this system always tries to give rather than to take. So this is the natural model established by God in the universe. Rest of the universe is based on this principle, that is giver principle. So man must also adopt this model. Man must live in his society as a giver member rather than taker member. There is a hadith, Addu ilayhim haqqahum wasalullah haqqakum. It means that give to others what is due to others, and ask, and for your right ask from God. This is the same principle. So the approved model of God for the universe as well as for men and women is this, that one must live as a giver in a society and not as a taker in a society. You have to be useful fathers. You have to save yourself from being harmful fathers. This model is already, the whole universe has adopted this model. So is required by man. أَفَغَيْرَ دِينِ اللَّهِ يَبْغُونَ. Do they want any religion other than God's? It means that, do they want to follow any other model? Do they want to follow a model other than the universal model? So it will not be accepted to God. God will not accept any other model. The only model which is accepted by God is that which is based on giving a spirit rather than taking a spirit. So this principle you can find in the Quran. Then there is a hadith that, now here I would like to add that only few examples are given in the Quran and hadith, not all. Because our universe is a very vast universe. There are billion items, and every part of the universe is a model. Every part of the universe is a model for man. So all are not mentioned in the Quran. Only some part are mentioned in the Quran. But by using your own common sense, you can know other models also. These models referred in the Quran are as example. So if you understand these models and if you contemplate about this system of God, then you can easily find other models also, because the whole universe is a model. For example, you see a cow. Cow as a model is not mentioned in the Quran, but is a model. Cow is a divine industry. Cow is a creation of God, and also cow is a creation of God. Also, it is a model. You know, cow takes grass and returns milk. In other words, cow takes non-milk and returns it into milk. Or you can say that cow is an industry to convert non-milk into milk. This is also a model, also a divine model. And cow is a demonstration of this model. It is also an approved model. And through cow, God has demonstrated this model. So you have to adopt this model also. Now what is and how you will apply this model in your society, in your life? Here I will give you an example. The Prophet of Islam was asked by someone. He asked a question. He said, "Oh, Ya Rasulallah, allimni kalimatin aishu bihinna, wala tuksir alayya fansa." It means that, "O Prophet, give me a master advice by which I may be able to manage all the affairs of my life. Prophet replied, La taghzab, don't be angry. Now what it means? Don't be angry means don't be angry even when provoked. In other words, you can say that when one provokes you, when one gives you an entry, when you receive a negative experience from a fellow being, so naturally you are angry, but you have to return it not in the form of anger, but in form of forgiveness. It means that you have to convert anger into forgiveness. You have to convert negative thought into positive thought. You have to convert minus into plus. So La taqzab means don't adopt the way of negative reaction, even when you are provoked. So it means that if you experience a negative behavior, you have to return it into positive behavior. You have to convert it into a positive behavior. So the same model is required by man also. The same model which is demonstrated by God through cow, you have to adopt also that model. Always be positive. Don't be negative any time. You have to save yourself from being provoked. This is also a model demonstrated by God in the form of cow. Then you know the streams. You know about streams. What is streams? Stream means water flowing from mountain. When water flow from the top of the mountain, then it's called stream. So stream follows and until it reaches to the valley. Then you know in the valley there are stones and boulders in its path. Then what is its behavior? A stream always avoid those stones or boulders. A stream never tries to fight, but its principle is to avoid those obstacles and find its way by way of avoidance, not by the way of fighting. So it's also a model. And water always maintains its continuous flow by adopting this model of avoidance. So is required by man also. When you are in a society, there are problems, there are obstacles, but you are not allowed to go to adopt the method of violence, method of fighting. There is also a Quranic verse It says, as-sulhu khair. Reconciliation is the best. It means that when there are some problems, so you are not allowed to adopt the course of confrontation. You have to allow the course of conciliation, adjustment. So this is the model demonstrated by stream, and man is also required to adopt this model of avoidance, model of tolerance, model of adjustment, model of peaceful living with others. Then there is a hadith. Prophet once saw a tender plant in a field. At that time, there were some other companion. So he said, "See this plant." She said that, Prophet said that, "Masalul mu'mine ka masalil khama." A true believer is like this plant, like this tender plant. You know what is the behavior of tender plant? Tender plant has no arrogance. When air blows, the plant adopt the way of submission, bow down. So this is the way of a true believer. This is a model also. This model is based on modesty and submission and adjustment. So tender plant always follows the model of submission. So is required by man. Man must follow this model that is based on submission and modesty. So modesty is very important in human life, because when you live in a society, always there are some kind of unpleasant situation, unpleasant experience. So you have to adopt the submissive attitude. You have to adopt the principle of modesty. You are not allowed to be arrogant. Not at all. So a tender plant is also a model. Then by using of your common sense, you can include more models like this. For example, you see a rose plant, then you find that every branch of that plant has two different kind of things, flower and thorn. At every branch there are flowers, at the same time there are thorns. But there is no quarrel, no fighting. Flower or thorn are two opposite things. Flower is flower and thorn is thorn. But both are living side by side. It is the best example of peaceful coexistence. So rose plant is also a model of peaceful coexistence. Because in rose plant, there are flower and thorns are living by following the principle of coexistence. So man also must adopt this model, that is peaceful coexistence. In national life, in social life, as well as in international life. Everywhere, man must follow this model that is based on peaceful coexistence. So the whole nature is providing us different models, the divine models. The whole nature is a kind of demonstration. A kind of demonstration. The whole nature, every part of the nature is presenting a model for human behavior. A model for human behavior. What is required by man? Willingly, the rest of the world has adopted the same unwillingly or compulsively. Thus, God is providing us models. In the Quran, God has given us that model as a principle, as an ideological teaching, as a religious teaching. And the same model and the same teaching is demonstrating in the universe. So the whole universe is like models, different models. Whole universe is like a demonstration of those principles laid down in the Quran. So this, you can say that is a divine culture. Or you can say that this divine culture is only key to paradise. Those who read the book of God and understand those divine principles, and then they see all those models, and they see the same principles in practical form as a model, and then they adopt this as a theory and as a practice. So these are true believers, and only these people will find entry into paradise. So paradise at one side is a place of happiness and all kind of bounties, all kind of comfort and luxury are over there. Then who are those people who will be settled in this paradise? Those people who have adopted paradise character. And all these models we find in the universe are showing us that what is the character of those people who will be settled in paradise. They must live like flowers. They must live like a stream. Then there is a hadith the Prophet of Islam has said about the people of paradise. He said, "Afidatuhum kafidatit tayr." That hearts of those people will be like hearts of birds. You know, bird is very, very innocent creature. in the heart of a bird, there is no anger, no malice, no revenge, no negative thought. Heart of a bird is completely positive heart, free of all kind of negativity. The Prophet said, if you want to know who are paradise people, who are those people who will find entry into paradise, you see these birds. You have to see these birds. Birds are innocent creature. Birds are peace-loving creature. Birds don't know. In the heart of the bird, there is no such sentiments like anger, malice, revenge. A bird don't know all these things. This is the character of a paradise person. One who want to find entry into paradise, he must adopt bird culture. He must live as a bird without malice. Prophet once said, a companion, if you want to find entry into paradise, so you have to adopt this formula. لَيْسَ فِي قَلْبِكَ غِشٌّ لِأَحَدٍ. There is no malice in your heart against anyone. This is the bird culture. This is the bird behavior. So birds are like birds of paradise. Birds are a demonstration. What is the culture of paradise? Who are those people who will be settled in paradise? So every bird is like a person living in paradise. This is the paradise culture. Paradise culture is based on peace, love, tolerance, well-wishing, compassion, mercy. This is the behavior of paradise, demonstrated by birds. So everyone who wants to find entry into paradise, he must adopt this bird culture. He must live in this world like a bird. So this is the creation plan of God, and this is the culture of paradise. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم أجمعين.